Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatsMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, today we've got a map which reminds me very much of the map that we reviewed yesterday. Similar sorts of mountains, similar sorts of playability, similar sorts of river. It has one big problem, this map, which is going to be right under your nose for pretty much the first half of the show. We'll get to that when we get to that. But there is information you need, information which will let you be a little bit easier on the creator. That information, of course, is...
It's my first map.
That's right. Now, first maps aside, how about your first ever bingo card, your first ever BonBonBingo card? Follow the link in the description to take you to my Patreon page where you can pick up a BonBonBingo card for free and you can play along and hopefully enjoy your start to the day with a little fun win or a fun defeat. Doesn't really matter. Winning doesn't matter, does it? But you're a winner if you do this. That's right, being a winner by hitting that like button is a really good way of supporting the channel and helping the channel to win. Everyone's a winner if you hit the like button. Oh, I like that. I'm going to use that again. Today's map is France Alps by Djaan. Now, if you do take on this map, be aware France Alps isn't the name of the map when you go to the loading screen. There's your start square there. When you actually go in to load the map up, it'll appear under New Map. Yes, it's one of those. It's a first map. Little mistakes are allowed. There's your terrain heights. Lots of flat buildable space in the middle of the map, or flat-ish buildable space. And then we have, well, we've got fill painting, which is strong and bold and plenty of enough space in there to get some proper industries down. If you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, it's all about the anchovies today. A little bit of salmon thrown in for fun. And then across to the workshop, what do we need? Well, a few subscriptions there, including the SCT Rocky Shore theme. We'll be using the Realistic 1.2 LUT. Network Extensions 2 is listed there. And right at the bottom it says, change the roads from mass transit to the Network Extensions 2. So if you haven't got mass transit, then this isn't necessarily going to bother you too much because the creator has at the very last moment said, do you know what? No, actually... Network Extensions 2 is the way to go. Now, that'll upset people in other ways because it is quite a bulky mod. It is a dated mod as well, but I'm still a big fan. Personally, I'm a big fan, but then I've got quite a hearty PC and Network Extensions 2, it don't bother me. But if you're running a potato, Network Extensions 2 might be a bit more than your system really wants to handle. On the other hand, DLC, you have to pay money for it. Again, it's more for your PC and it might be a bit too much for your PC to handle. Shouldn't be, but it might be. So it's you lose with one, you lose with the other. I can see arguments pro and con for both. But yes, switching from what was originally mass transit highways, you can see we're national road highways on today's map. No big multi-lane highways on today's map. You'll have to do that upgrading yourself. Oh, it's a bridge. It's a little bridge. Just a little diddly bridge. It's nice, actually. And a nice little intersection there linking up with the bridge. I think that's quite cleanly done. Quite clean though. A little bit of encroaching foliage there. It's not quite on the lane though, so it's a fail, but it's not a massive fail. There may be massive fails to follow. So yes, switching from mass transit to Network Extensions 2 is an option. It's always an option, and of course now with mods such as Ron, the network changer or whatever I can't remember what the exact term, but Ron is there, and good old Ron, you can change the entire map really easily now. So all credit not just to Ron, but all of the modders out there who make this game so much more than it is in a base game mode. Right, we seem to have a little bit of a tailback of traffic going on here. Something's going on somewhere. I'm wondering if it's one of those bingo card issues, which we may be looking out for. I'm not going to say it just in case. Oh, another tree. That one is just clipping the line. Now, I'm going to say that is encroaching onto the highway. That tree is a fail. These trees are definitely fails. They are definitely under the road there. And then heading on over to the start square intersection. Yes, that's what we have here. Start square intersection. This is an interesting little shape, little triangle type things in the middle. Rather that than roundabouts or something. It's just a bit different. And then this links down to the start square, which looks really flat, doesn't it? This looks quite flat. Looks like it's going up a hill though, and it is. We're actually going to be doing a lot of our start square building on a bit of a hill plateau. It's quite a hearty hill, that one. I don't know if I would have liked it just a little bit subtler, but it's not that it isn't playable. It's just that it's actually a lot hillier than I thought it was going to be in that start location. Then we'll head on and follow the traffic down through the valley. France Alps. So I'm guessing the hills are indicative of the Alps, and then we've got some quite nice looking rivers. I'm going to give credit. I quite like the rivers on the map in the terms of we don't have these huge cliff faces to get down to the river, which you quite often see from first timers. So I think there's credit to be given there. A little intersection here with a potential start location off on the right. But here we have, first of all, encroaching foliage on the roundabout, but also stop-start traffic. Now, I know a few of you will have that on your bingo cards. Anyway, we may or may not be coming back to that intersection in the second half of the show for more things to talk about. If you spotted something there that I didn't, don't worry, I did. We will be going back to that later. I'm trying to handle it. I don't want to just come in and bludgeon the map and say, hey, listen, everything's wrong with this map. There are some things, but it's not everything. And there's still plenty enough stuff. I mean, look at the feel of the forests that we've got going on here. They feel alive. We've got a really good tree selection. We've got some pleasing rivers. We've got a really good theme LUTs combo, although the LUT is the realistic 1.2, which is the default LUTs that I use when none's prescribed. Now, we do have some encroaching foliage, some shocking foliage there on the branch line. And so there is a little bit of that with the rail. It just needs to be trimmed back a little bit if you care about these things. And if you don't care about these things, it's not going to affect your game whatsoever, because the trains will completely ignore that. So it's fine. There's nothing going to affect the game here. Heading on through, it'll open up a bit in a minute. And the actual routes for the rail I quite like. I think we can give credit for that one. In fact, the network routes, yes, a few of you are going to want multi-lane highways. But I don't really see too much of a problem. Yeah, if you're looking to do a mega mammoth city, you are going to want to upgrade those to multi-lane. It's a fact, you are. If you're looking to do something a lot more subtle, it's not always about doing a big grid city. It's not always. Sometimes, but not always. This map, however, would accommodate a decent sized grid city if that's the way you want to go. I'd probably recommend, this rail line, by the way, does do some climbing over some subtle hills. This is going to be a bit steeper than reality, especially at this location here. But if it's something that bothers you, you know what to do. Choose a different map. Right? I don't have, given the sort of map that it is, and it is a first time creator, I would say this is actually not too bad at all. That's what I would say. Yeah, rail. We're going to go a little under the bridge. I like this. Look, road over rail. All credit for that. And then the rail stays level for the rail over water bridge. There is credit to be given there. There's always some... And with those of you that like to have a moan in the comments, yes, sure, please do. But always try and find positive stuff to say too. Try and find a balanced argument. Yes, it might not be the map for you. And if you really hate it, then just give it 1 star in the vote at the end of the show. Just give it the 1 star. Don't bother grumbling about it. Just a 1 little vote in there. It won't show up, if it turns out to be not one of the top 10 maps of the month, then it won't show up anywhere apart from people that go hunting for the scores. Nobody's going to be giving this bad mouth, are they? Because actually, overall, I think this is not too bad. It's quite pleasing. Liking the hedgerows. Again, they are hints towards hedgerows rather than being loud and proud hedgerows. But again, this map does have one big problem that's been under your nose for a big chunk of the first half of the show. I'll point this one out in the second half of the show after the intermission. We'll also check it out for the shipping routes and, of course, the water flow.
Are you baffled by how YouTubers put detailing on their assets? Are you frightened that something called anarchy would break your game? Then you need the BonBonB's Beginner Guide to Anarchy. Click the information button now.
And so back to those shipping routes. And we have a shipping route that goes along the main rivers on this side of the map. And you'll see a little right angle turn here, which then follows up towards the main buildable part of the map. And we can pop our harbours on this little area here. Little loop back. Doesn't really need a loop back, but then it doesn't really hurt to have the loop back. Right angle turn again takes us right back off to the edge of the map over here. So water flow. It's an odd shaped river system, isn't it? We have edge of map water flow pushing in from here and edge of map water flow pushing in from here, which means that the ends of these two rivers, we kind of want it flowing off the edge of the map. Let's have a look. Oh, edge of map pushing in and edge of map pushing in. So somewhere in the middle is going to be a null zone. And what's the betting? It's somewhere near our start square. Where is the start square? I can't remember the start square. Let me come here. It's up here. Yep. Right, so I bet the water flow here is really light, if not existent. Very, very light. It's got a tiny little bit of water motion there. And if we go a little bit further along, it's probably completely dead. Yeah. It's not ideal. I'd like to see proper water flow on a map like this one. Running out to the widest points would be better. Right, okay, so all told, I'm liking the field. The field painting I don't mind too much because these fields are definitely large enough to actually assign to be an entire oil or ore industry. I don't mind that at all. And the shapes of the mountains in the background are just really very pleasing indeed. The hills are workable. Yeah, it's not as flat as some people would like, but they're certainly far from unplayable. And then when you get out here, if you do want to get into the mountains, these mountains just, I know they're not identical to yesterday, but similar sort of styles to yesterday. And they feel very aesthetic. Good tree coverage, lots and lots of tree coverage. Medium density without going too heavy as well. I think there's a lot to be said for that. The buildable area as well, big devoid area of trees. Again, you can use these fields to shape your city as well. Now, I did say we'd come back to this roundabout over here. This is the one with the stop-start traffic and a little bit of encroaching foliage on the roundabout. Don't know if you noticed, though, over here, there are two off-ramps there. We've got the one on the right should be heading onto the roundabout, which means we don't actually have any incoming traffic coming in from that particular highway. I'm sure a few of you spotted that one already. Down here, this was all good. We've got a few trees that are encroaching a little bit, but also look at this highway. Let me just show you mass transit highways. Into highway mode. No, not that one. This one. There we go. There's your mass transit 2-lane highway. And that's fine. Now let's find network extensions 2, which is this one. This is your network extensions 2 National Road. Okay. Now we'll go down and have a look at the comparison. Now, network extensions 2, which we're supposed to be using on this map, is on the left. Tell me, is that mass transit or network extensions 2? Well, I'll tell you, it's mass transit. The entire map, although it's been said that it's been updated to mass network extensions 2, it hasn't. All of the roads are still mass transit, which means sadly that this map is very technically just a little bit broken. Unlike the asset of the day. This one isn't broken, this one's Brammered. Totally Brammered. It's the small Soviet hotel by Brammered. And as Brammered says in the description for this item, this is based on an item in Poland, which strictly speaking, as their words, not my words, means it's not strictly Soviet. But do you know what? Shall we say Soviet inspired? I think that's a way of putting it. Yes, love this. I would use this for council estates, UK council estates. It would work perfectly fine. Factoids, because factoids. Bamboo. You know bamboo, don't you? It's that stuff you were caned with when you were at school, yeah? Oh, do you remember that? Ouch. Palm of the hand. Couldn't pick out your pen all day, could you? That's why you were deliberately naughty, wasn't it? Bamboo can grow over 3 feet in the space of 24 hours. And if they were caning your feet, that'd be even worse. Ooh, ow. Anyway, yes. I know some people that enjoy that sort of thing, but let's not go into that. Small Soviet, I'm not caning young children, I mean receiving. Let's switch the subject. Small Soviet hotel by Brammered. What a lovely asset that is. Thanks, Brammered. Love it. Okay, so France Alps by Djaan. Do you know what? We haven't actually had a look at these little side rivers. Now, I'm going to give a little bit of credit here. I mean, they're not great, but they've had an attempt of making a realistic, slow-flowing mountain stream here. It's a bit wider than it wants to be. I don't think the theme does it any justice. We've got a few drowned trees on this side as well. And it sort of like tapers out a little bit before the... Oh, no, sorry. No, this is the one which has the slightly unconvincing river delta. It's the other one. We've got another stream somewhere. Oh, opposite. There we go. This one, yeah, it tapers out a little bit before getting into the river. And it's... Again, I'm going to give credit for trying, because these are not easy. These are really not easy. They're very time consuming to get right. And it's a valiant first attempt on my first map. So credit for that. But what do you think of the map as a whole? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewers' Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now in the top right corner of your screen, or the link in the description will take you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Apple, Gmail or a Patreon account. But what do I think of today's map? Well, aesthetically, I think this is quite nice. It doesn't quite ring as much to me as yesterday's map, but I like it quite a bit. Don't quite feel it quite sticks that 4th star, so I'm going to go for a high 3. I think the tree selection works really well, and I love the shapes of the mountains. Detailing, there are a few little bits here and there, trees encroaching and stuff like that. Is it enough to drop it to 2 stars though? I feel it probably is, but I'm going to be generous today. I'm going to go for a low 3. Gameplay potential. This would probably be a strong 3-star map, high 3-star map. A little bit of traffic flow issue, but of course, without mass transit, map will not work. So I have to give it 1 star. On the rules of the show, it's technically broken. France Alps by Djaan. Remember, if you take on this map, it is listed under new map in your map listing. So just remember that one when you go and load it up, because there's plenty of you that will want to play it anyway. And all power to you. All power to you. And all power to the creator. Anyway, my voice is starting to go. End of the long show. So thanks very much for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing. My voice really isn't on point at all now, is it? But use the word of the day like I just did as part of a sentence. Score yourself some population points just for fun. Prove you're part of the 20 and out elite. And I'll be back tomorrow with another map in the What Map series. Thanks for watching.